Welcome to the Boozy Blondes Podcast.
She's Molly.
And she's Chrissy.
We're best friends on a quest to bring you all things boozy.
Let's get lit. Pop,
Fizz,
clink, let's drink. Hi, Lushes. Welcome back. Chrissy and I have been apart for like 3 weeks now, so we have a very long overdue Zoom call. I think we've been chatting for like an hour already. Now we're like, okay,
I know.
time for business. Let's record.
we couldn't wait to dive in.
So hopefully our witch mouth isn't too bad because our dough today is wine. And shoot, I had my bottle. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
And Rainer stole it. I think he's drinking
I
mine.
have mine. Well, I know you're drinking Predator. Is that the bottle I got you for Christmas?
Yeah. No.
This is my Wine Insiders.
Oh.
We've already
the
had
label.
2 boxes shipped here to Georgia because we have a drinking problem, apparently.
Oh, yeah. So I guess I should say I'm still in St. Augustine. Chrissy is in Georgia, up in Sky Valley, where if episode 1, our very last episode of season 1, not episode 1, season 1, we were all in Sky Valley together doing our world famous Tournament of Champions. So Chrissy's been up there.
Yeah, we used to come here like every New Year's Eve, and this was a weird year because Phil and I got here like post New Year's Eve and nothing's open. So, I mean, this is off season and North Georgia is got to actually pretty happen in wine country up here, which you wouldn't think, but the grapes are awesome. But through January 1st through probably all of February is the off season here. So most of my favorite restaurants, bars, and wineries are closed. So I only have 3 places to tell you about during our happy hour chat. So you can tell me which one you want to hear about first. We have Tiger Mountain Vineyards, which you've been to, Fortify Pizza and Burger Bar, which has a secret tiki bar, and Old No Beverage Company.
Old Nose?
Old No.
Old No.
A-N-O-W.
Oh, okay. Okay, I want to hear about Tiger Mountain first to make sure I remember it because I'm picturing one in my head, but it's been 5 years since I think 2021 was the last time I was up there.
Well, you chose wisely because that's the first one I like put notes on my page. I'm organized, guys. Look,
there's the proof. She says it a lot.
But so what I remember about being there with you and Rainer was we brought in our own guac and our unicorn cards, and we sat in their little tasting room and played Trashed and just like had chips and guac and like split flights of wine.
That's not what I was picturing.
Sadly, it's no longer like that.
Oh.
But in a good way.
Okay.
So like I it's been that way for a long time. But they've been like kind of changing every year and adding more and more stuff. And this year was no different. And it was a huge surprise when Phil and I went there. So just a little bit about Tiger Mountain Vineyards, if you don't know. It's a boutique winery nestled in Tiger Mountain, which is in Rayburn County, Georgia. And I found out in one of my drunken tastings there that they named it Tiger Mountain because like some of the first settlers said the mountain range looked like a tiger sleeping.
Oh, have you seen it?
So it's really pretty. Like I said, you don't think about wine coming from North Georgia, but they have such an amazing little like microclimate and wine belt here in North Georgia. And they are producing award-winning wines that are just grown right here in the scenic mountains of North Georgia. And fun fact, Tiger Mountain was the first vineyard in Georgia to successfully establish European grapes here. I think that's why the wine is so good. Like we're from Florida, so we have the muscadine grape, which is very sweet, and everyone blends it with fruit. So you get a lot of fruit wine, which like not to knock it, but that's not the type of wine that I like to drink. But because they do a lot of like micro blending with these European grapes, the wine is fantastic, and it's wine you would find it anywhere in the world. So the place was established in 1995. We've been coming here like for 10 years. And I think I read that it was like 2021 that a new family took over the business. And literally since then, they've just been like making a lot of changes and growing it to its full potential because it's beautiful. But I mean, you could make it bougie and boutique-y and wedding venue-y, and that's definitely like the path that they're choosing. So the big changes that I noticed was they added the Red Barn Cafe, which sadly has never been open when I'm here because I always come in the off season. But it's an adorable, like quintessential Red Barn, so Instagrammy. I take pictures in front of it every single time. And in the summer, they open up the patio and they have like great food there, and you can do wine pairings. But they also are really trying to make it a wedding venue. So they had another outbuilding that they ended up rehabbing completely. And that's where Phil and I went this year. Like we went to the normal tasting room, which is the one I used to go to with you. And
Mhm.
like he dropped me off there with the dogs. It's pouring rain. I like go up to the door and it's locked. And I'm like peering in and I'm like, oh no. I looked online, I called, I made sure they were open, like what is going on? But it was like pure storage in there. So like as I'm like trying to call Phil to say come pick me up because he went to park, he's calling me saying, no, 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 it's a new location. So this like old outbuilding that they completely refurbished is now their boutique wedding venue. So you walk in on the lower level and you can just order your wine there. And they have this beautiful patio. It's partially covered, partially open. They built a little like stage for music and they had heaters because we were there in the winter. So it's open year round, which I really appreciate. And she actually was so nice. She invited us to come upstairs because literally we're the only people there because the weather was so bad. The upstairs is normally not dog friendly, but it's this beautiful two-story open air kind of barn setup, and it's all glass windows facing the vineyard. So you just get to see all the vines and the mountains. And like it was a misty, rainy day, so just so pretty. There's a bar there too. So we ordered a bottle of wine there, a charcuterie board, and just kind of like sat and enjoyed a rainy day in Georgia, like the best way possible. Another thing that they added that's really cool is a vacation rental home. They acquired this home that was already on the property. They've redone it. You can go to their Instagram and take a tour of the house. It's, I think, like 4 or 5 bedrooms. It's beautiful, which is perfect if like you want to have an event or a wedding at the venue because your whole wedding party or bachelorette party or girls' weekend party can stay there, which is just really cool.
Yeah.
So they actually had a bride and groom touring it while Phil and I were there. So it was really cool to like hear about like what they could do and how they could turn it into an event space. So I love like the big changes. I don't know if they're gonna ever reopen that little room that you and I used to go to, but like that is how I first went to Tiger Mountain and like kind of saw it expand. But that room, the tasting room, was always there. So I'm a little sad and hopeful that like someday that comes back into play.
Yeah.
But I do love everything they're doing. And as always, the wine is super good. We got the Cab Franc, $42 for a bottle to split on property or take home. Like that's a good deal. Charcuterie was great. And they have all their events posted online. So definitely check out their social media or their website. Because right now they're actually doing a Valentine wine pairing dinner, which if I'm still here, I'm like, maybe we could go because I love that idea.
That's cute. I love like getting the wine pairing with any meal is my favorite thing.
Me too. And I love that they do when I was there, they're like you can do a flight, you can do a bottle. They'll let you taste anything too, which is really nice. I was looking online and it says that they do cellar tours, barrel tastings. Um, and I've seen online that they do the like summer harvest where they invite people to come in and help them harvest and like stomp the grapes. I think that's like more for like fun and show, but like how cool is that just to get to still stomp the grapes?
We haven't done that on this.
No, I would love to do that. So if Tiger Mountain Winery seems like your jam, check them out online. It's tigerwine.com,
How did they get that domain name?
right?
Great. Okay. So what are my choices? Remind me.
The Fortify Pizza Burger Bar with the secret Tiki Speakeasy
Uh,
or Old No Beverage Company.
old nope.
Okay.
No, no, old no. I said nope, like Leslie Nope.
Nope. So I don't know if this will help you remember it, but I like when Phil and I got there, we were the only two people at the bar. So it's like a theme. We show up like as places open. And like so we talked to the owner and bartender and distiller Ryan for the longest time. Then one other couple showed up because I mean it's off season. There's literally no one here. I'm impressed that they're still open and I really appreciate it. But
This is
they
the
asked
thing
like where does
because
the name come from? And I overheard him saying it was a headstone near like where they lived and the last name was Old No. And it's very different and unique. So I
yeah.
think it just stuck with them. I don't know why they chose it. But I love that story. And like when you see the venue and the way it's designed and their marketing and everything, it all just like kind of ties together. So I freaking love this place.
So what is it?
All right, let me find it for you here. All right, so Old No Beverage Company is a micro distillery and cocktail lounge in downtown Clayton, Georgia. This is absolutely what Clayton was missing. They have a great restaurant scene, but they really needed a true cocktail bar. And not only are they serving up like some of the best cocktails I've had anywhere in the world, they are distilling all their own spirits.
That's
So they don't
awesome.
serve anything that they don't distill themselves, which is really, really cool. And any of the ingredients that they're using for distilling is all coming from local farmers, which I love that. So I don't want to like tell you too much about it because I definitely picked poor Ryan's brain because we had so much in common and like the poor guy probably thought, oh, I'm just gonna go like to work today. He didn't know he's gonna have to talk to me for 45 minutes before another customer showed up. But I would love to have him on the podcast and like tell his story more, so I don't want to like spoil it all here.
Okay, cool.
But like I said, I love that they make everything in-house. And they're definitely very inventive cocktails and they're very seasonal. So we got to try like the new seasonal winter menu, which was fantastic. But it was founded in 2021 and the owners are Mary Catherine Matherney and Ryan Warner Wood, which is the man that happened to be the bartender, distiller, jack of all trades while we were there. So they're both longtime drink makers and artists with a passion for flavor and innovation, and it definitely comes through. I walked in this space and like my jaw dropped because I was kind of like, Phil, if I got to design a bar, like this is what I would do. And I happened to say that to him. We had both our dogs with us and they were so welcoming, let us bring the dogs in because they don't serve food or anything. So Phil was taking them outside for a potty break. And I said to him, I was like, I mean, you don't know this about me, but like restaurant design is like my thing. And if I ever got to do this, like this is what I would do. And I didn't know that he had designed the place. So like
Um,
that's what kind of just like sparked our like conversation. And just he's a super cool guy with the science background for distilling and the art background for making it such an inviting, cool, swanky lounge that you just want to have drink after drink. So it's not your typical cocktail bar, definitely not your typical bar for Clayton, Georgia, which is just a sleepy little mountain town, which I love. But I mean, this place would be comfortable in any city around the world. But like I said, they distill their own vodka, gin, amaro, and more. And they're using all these fresh botanicals. They also have a full non-alcoholic mocktail menu, which if that's your thing, that's really nice that they're catering to you. And the vibe is very like vintage meets botanical,
oh,
but I don't know. I loved it.
well, I like botanical drinks.
They have like all these really cool like soft velvet sofas, like Chesterfield's leather inside. And then they also have this big garage door that they open when the weather is nice. So you have these indoor outdoor options. And they do a lot of really cool like local events that I was looking into, and I want to come back just so like I can experience some of the in-season events. Because they're doing food truck pop-ups. They're actually doing one this Sunday, which if it wasn't going to snow, I would make my way down there. They do market nights, game nights, and a silent book club in partnership with Wander Mountains bookstore. So, like,
Oh,
I love how much community they're bringing in, and they have a lot of plans to grow. They have bottled seltzers. I think they're kind of like working on that, maybe changing that. But in the future, they're also going to be opening a Mediterranean fast casual restaurant called The Grotto right next door. So if they have a
perfect.
hand in it, I know I'm going to love it, and I can't wait to see this.
And like that's why we love Old Coast so much because Osprey Tacos is right next door. When I mean we get the drunk munchies, we need to eat. That's perfect. I'm excited for
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
And
like luckily we had food beforehand because it's really funny. The bartender, she was like, "Where are you going next?" When we were getting our dinner, And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like we're thinking about checking out that Old No. Like what do you think about it? And she's like, oh, their cocktails are legit. She's like, she looked at me and she's like, it might be a one and done for you because they are strong, but they are so good. So we drank a lot because this is what I love about going places like this with multiple people because you can try a majority of the menu. It
Yeah.
was only me and Phil, and then this other couple showed up, and like I was kind of living vicariously through them. They were dog people, so they kind of just ended up sitting with us and talking about their dogs and petting our dogs, and I was looking at everything they were drinking. I was like this close to me, like, can I have a sip? Is that too weird? We just met. But anyway, what Phil and I tried, our first round was they have like a milk punch part of the menu. And I was like, okay, we're ordering from that because you don't see that often. So he got the
Yeah.
Hans Island and I got the Greenwood punch. Actually, I think I got the Hans Island, he got the Greenwood, and I ended up making him trade with me because I like the Greenwood so much. Then we got a second round. We got the Golden Hour and the Mr. Brightside, which were both fantastic. And when we walked in, Ryan was taking Instagram photos of a new menu item called Flight Risk. And he's like, well, no one's here, so why don't you guys drink this? So we definitely had a good array of drinks on the menu. Everything was amazing, but that Greenwood Punch, it's made with a vegetal gin, Mastilla liqueur, lemon, grapefruit, and agave. And like, I will drive down the mountain, which is a good 40 minutes every day to get that cocktail. It is so good.
Okay.
There was one, it was called like the Biscoff Old Fashioned, and that's what like the group of people next to us kept getting. And like his first sip of it, like he's like, "Oh my God, it tastes like a Biscoff cookie." And that's when I was like, "I really want to sip."
Oh,
But
yeah.
and he liked it so much he ordered two, and I wanted to like order one, but I knew it was going to be a little bit sweet,
Yeah.
and like I like a sweet drink, but then I can't drink a lot of other stuff after, so I stayed on like the more like herbal side of everything. And I
Yeah.
actually bought a bottle of their Amaro Wister to bring home because it was just so different.
What is that?
And like, so since I've had it home, I love it. I'm just trying to find like new ways to use it. So I love that they're selling all their products. So you can just not only have it there in a cocktail, but you can buy a bottle to bring home.
What is that?
Um, it's Amaro, like Montenegro Amaro. It's a bitter liqueur.
Oh,
Remember we were getting ready to go to Greece and I made this like it was like a lemon Amaro, just I don't know, fizzy cocktail. So like that. So I've made an Amaro old fashioned with it, which was really good.
oh, cool. Like it's I'm gonna guess it's kind of like herbal, like an ouzo, or is it more on the aperitif side, like a Campari, or kind of
Yeah. I'm trying. Have you ever had Cinar, which is like an Italian herbal? It's very much like it. It's dark. It's a dark color, like almost like Jaeger. Like Jaeger would be like the lowest quality version of this. So I feel bad
yeah.
even saying that. But it's like a dark, sweet medicinal liqueur.
Yeah,
And so you can kind of use it in place of bitters anywhere. But you'll use a small amount. But I did a 50-50 old fashioned with just like bourbon and the Amaro, which was good. And I added a little bit of lemon rather than orange because you need like the bitter citrus. Um, but I think I would rather have more bourbon. I don't know. I just like
yeah.
bourbon. So.
Well, yeah.
But he knew that about me. Like we were talking about like, oh, what type of drinks do you like and stuff. And so because I had said I like bourbon, he's like, I just want you to try it. So it was really nice. He'd let you like sample like little bit of the liqueur straight, which was really cool. And it
Yeah.
was funny because I told him, I was like, listen, gin is my best friend's favorite drink. And like last year I made a decision I'm gonna try to like gin more. And I was like, I love when I find a gin cocktail that proves me wrong. I do really like gin. And it was fantastic. So
Oh,
I
good.
think if we go down this weekend, I'm gonna buy a bottle of their gin to take home.
Awesome.
So it sort of broke my heart to come back to Clayton and see that Fortify Kitchen was gone because this was my favorite restaurant. This would be like the reward for like making it through the trip and like, accomplishing my goals for work and being up there and everything. And like we drove by and they were gone and I was kind of like, oh my God.
Oh.
Because it was two businesses right next door to each other on Main Street in Clayton, and one was Fortify Pie, which was all pizza, and the other one was Fortify Kitchen, which is like really upscale cocktails and awesome food. And so with them gone, I was like, oh my God, like, where's the good food? There's no more cocktail bar. So Old No has taken over on the cocktail front, which was great. But I was happy to find out that they just relocated down the street. So they have a new owner. They're still on Main Street. They're just a little bit further down. And it's now called Fortify Pizza and Burger Bar. So they took these two awesome concepts and put them over one under one roof, which is nice. Um, so when you walk in, it's a nice concept. You have this like, of course it's winter, so everything was enclosed, but in the summer, all the garage doors will open and it's kind of just like a big pavilion with picnic tables, huge TV screens everywhere. So this is definitely the place to go to see sports. It's your perfect sports bar. And then they have these two restaurants. So they have the burger bar and they added this like I kind of want to call it a speakeasy because I never even knew it was there. But it's a rum bar called Road Town Rum Bar. And you step into it, and it's kind of like you leave the mountains behind, and all of a sudden you're in like the BVI's. Like it's this tropical little hidden bar that seems to make no sense, but it's also awesome. So, um, I mean, we really enjoyed it. We walked in. It's very family friendly. So all the picnic tables were like occupied by like families and kids. And we walked in with two dogs who are puppies and we're trying to teach them like manners when we're out in public. So I was kind of like, they might go nuts with like kids throwing things right next to us. So I spotted the rum bar and I was like, hey, would it be okay to like sit in there? And she's like, absolutely, it's dog friendly. And so we walk in, there's three bros at the bar and they are two drink deep in like these adorable little umbrella drinks. So I immediately loved it because these are like these big mountain men drinking like tiki drinks. And the bartender was super sweet. She kind of like walked us through how it all works. You can order from the burger bar. So anything on that menu they'll bring in there. You can order any of the tiki bar drinks in there, which they had this full, huge, colorful menu. And then also in the burger bar, they have wine and a ton of craft beer, either bottles or on tap. So it's kind of the best of all three worlds sitting in there.
Yeah.
So we loved it. Um, but this is definitely the place you go for like a casual pizza, beer, sports bar, craft beer atmosphere. The highlight for me is the wood-fired brick oven pizza, which is what Fortify Pie was known for. So they're still doing that, which is great. And because they offer vegan cheese, I was like, this is my place. So we hung out in the Hidden Rum Bar. We got their forest mushroom pizza with rosemary oil, mushroom blend, vegan mozzarella, truffle oil, fresh herbs, and it paired perfectly with the Pinot Noir. Phil loved his selection of local craft beers. I did try one drink from the tiki menu because it's like so tempting. It's adorable. Like full color, all like
Yeah.
exactly what the drinks look like. They even had a couple secret drinks where they would tell you the name and the story, but not what's in them. And I was intrigued, but I knew better. But I was like, ooh, espresso martini pairs good with pizza. It was not good. So skip the espresso martini.
Ooh.
It just it's an espresso martini without a like brewed espresso. So they're just using like
Yeah.
espresso liqueur. Some
Yeah.
people might love it. It's just not my taste. It's too sweet. So just bear that in mind. But for more information about what they offer and what you can find there, check out fortifyclayton.com.
That pizza sounds amazing. All my favorite things. Mushrooms, truffle, rosemary,
It was
cheese.
so good. And we got a small and we still had pieces to bring home.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay, so you've seen everything there is to see, so you can come back home now, right?
Yep.
You're done? Okay, good.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Asheville this weekend, but the damn snowstorm. So I might as well come back
Sorry.
to Florida.
Yes, we don't have snow here. Well, some areas saw some dustings recently. It's been freezing, unseasonably cold, but no snow in St.
Okay, good.
Augustine.
I'm gonna pour my wine so you can tell me about where you've been in the 3 weeks we've been apart.
Well, so one place I went, and I've seen you since, but I think it definitely needs to be talked about because Charleston, we haven't been to Charleston since right before we started this podcast. So we haven't given any love to that city, and I think it's great. Rainer and I went right before Christmas because the Charleston place, which is like this super bougie hotel downtown, really does Christmas right. They have a million Christmas trees in there, a giant like train set when you walk into the lobby with like little, the train set at Epcot that goes through like little villages and stuff in Germany. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It's like that, but there's like ice skaters and there's like a little ski lift and it's beautiful and they're actually going through all their renovations right now. So they're calling it reimagined. This is as of like the end of 2025. I think they started opening the rooms because the room we stayed in had only been open for a couple weeks. So it was beautiful. It was kind of like the Grand Floridian at Disney. That's what it reminded me of because there were lots
I
of
was
kids.
gonna say it sounds Disney, just like the words they're using, like reimagined.
Yeah, so it snows at Christmas time, normally in their courtyard, but because there was construction, they did it out on one of the terraces. And Rainer and I walked outside to see it, and there were two girls standing there. One offered me hot chocolate, the other one offered me Christmas cookies. So I was like, oh, I love this for the children, I'm sure, but I loved it. Um, and then there was one bar, like their lobby bar is called the Thoroughbred Club. So there's lots of like racehorse polo type vibes. And there was a piano player and like a cello player playing while we were in there. So it was just like an old-fashioned place, like to drink. We definitely got old fashions when we were sitting in there. Um, but other than that, they have like a couple other, they have a sports bar and other restaurant things. But what I want to talk about is the places outside of that hotel that we went. And the first place we went was called Well Hung Vineyards. So they obviously served a lot of wine, but they also had a craft cocktail menu too and amazing food. So this is a place I'd recommend. Um, I think. So I think our next episode that is releasing is our food tour in Venice. And Chrissy and I really recommend, booking a food tour early in a new city. And Well Hung Vineyards is part of the food tour in Charleston. So they have it's two stories. So people kept going in groups upstairs. So I asked the bartender what was happening, and he said, "Oh, it's part of the food tour." So Rainer and I did not do that, but that would be something, Chrissy, maybe when we go back, we can try their food tour. So, like you were talking about Ryan, didn't know he was going to work and having to talk to you all day. We had Brandon, and we were the only two in there, and he had to talk to us the whole time. Like, we just kept asking him a million questions, talking about different things. He was very gracious with us. Um, so they had a seasonal menu. I got a drink called Winter in Jalisco, which was a tequila-based drink, and Rainer got a hot toddy. It came in like a snowman mug that he loved because it was festive. And also because it was a winery, I wanted to do a flight, so I did a white or a red wine flight. I wanted to try it all. We got I think we got some like bruschetta type, but it was like with fig instead of like tomato confit or what do you call it? Like the bruschetta mix with tomatoes and stuff. And we got something else too. I don't remember what it was, but their food is good. It was a nice place to start and eat and drink. And then another place we went is called Prohibition, which I think is a pretty popular bar, but they had a pop-up bar at Christmas called Sippin' Santa. And so it's kind of like Forgotten Tonic's Miracle Bar. So I don't remember what I got there. It came in like some coconut type mug, and Rainer's drink looked really milky, but it was like Christmas flew up. It was or threw up. It was beautiful in there.
I
But
love I love the pictures from that bar. It looked so festive.
it was. They did a good job. It was a lot. Like this year, I feel like Forgotten Tonic had a more subdued kind of winter ski lodge theme. This
Yeah, it
one
was
blew
classy.
up crazy Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so my favorite spot though of that first day was called By the Way. And it's a bar restaurant. It's co-owned by Craig and Austin of Southern Charm. So if you're familiar with that reality show, they actually teamed up with Uptown Hospitality Group, who has a couple other restaurants in Charleston. And they just celebrated like their 1 year anniversary, I think in like November 2025. So it's a fairly new spot. And Molly O'Connell is also on Southern Charm, and she was performing that night. She's a singer, so Rainer and I like that show, so we're like, let's go check it out. So I got an espresso martini that was really good compared to the one you talked about, and I actually got it with tequila instead of vodka, and it was amazing. And they put like in the froth is I don't know if it's their logo, but it's like the silhouette of a fox. So it's really pretty. And it lasted the entire time. And we're sending you pictures. I'm like, my
Hmm.
fox is still intact as I
I
was.
know, I was so jealous. That looks so good. And I love a tequila espresso martini.
Yeah, it was great. And the food there was amazing. We got these like truffle deviled eggs and it was like blue crab grilled cheese. I didn't know how to eat it because they made it like a triple decker. There was like a layer of bread in the middle, so I was just kind of cutting it and eating it. And of course, we're at the table like closest to the stage where Molly's singing and her guitar man. But she sang Jewel. She sang that song from Once. You know, you like Once, that
Hmm.
musical, Falling Slowly. She sang the Beach
Yep.
Boys. Like she was pulling out some like really good tunes. So we enjoyed that. I would absolutely go back to that place. And I think they have a snug. You remember in
Yes.
Stanford, like the little private like booth area. So we'll have to go back and try to get a seat there. Um I also drank wine there. Rainer said I was feeling pretty good, so I believe him. I had a good time. So for breakfast, we went to this place called Miller's All Day. And normally I wouldn't talk about breakfast, but they have an espresso martini flight on the breakfast menu. Well, I'm sure you can get it any time of day, but you know, it's a good way to wake up. I did not get it. I was waiting for you, so we can go back and get that someday because that's
I
a
was gonna
lot
say
to drink at once.
that's bold. Like 4 espresso drinks. I feel like my heart would be beating out of my chest.
Yeah, so we need to share it.
Yeah.
So I saved that for us. We'll go back.
Okay,
That's
good.
kind of uh on the like the lower end of King Street, I guess, which King Street is like the main drag or thoroughfare basically in Charleston that has like all the shopping and bars and restaurants and stuff. Um so it was down towards the lower end and I did have like a poinsettia to drink, like a mimosa but with cranberry, and it had rosemary in it, so it felt very festive around the Christmas time. Rainer got it was like the triple B Bloody Mary, and it was bacon infused bourbon as the base, and then they had a Bloody Mary mix, and then they put like more bacon in it. And I tried it. Now I like bourbon in my old fashions or to sip on. Did not like it in the Bloody Mary. It was too much.
Did
And
he like it? Because that sounds
he
so
liked
good.
it. Yeah, he
Okay.
loved it. It was just too much bacon, too much bourbon, too early in the morning. No. I had my little poinsettia. Oh, we went to another recommendation would be Franny and the Fox, which you're familiar with because you
Yes.
had told me to go there. It's in is it Emeline Hotel?
I can't
Emmeline.
remember.
Emmeline.
Okay.
Excuse me. So it's basically like the lobby bar and restaurant, but I think they have a wood fire stove too because their pizzas are amazing. The guy next to me, we just sat at the bar and he ordered a sandwich and it came out like in this like wood fire baked bread, and I was like, well, next time I'm getting that. And they had squash soup on the menu, and I love like butternut squash and that kind of soup in the winter. And we were just taking the crust from our pizza and like it was like a dip. It was so good. I didn't drink anything exciting there. I think I had like rosé and like prosecco, but Rainer got a ranch water and she made it in like a little Pellegrino bottle. Like she just handed him the
Oh.
bottle. Like I'm like, how'd you do that? She said, well, I just poured some of the Pellegrino out and put the tequila in and there you go. But it was cute. The only other place I want to talk about is we had dinner. It was called Circa 1886. So I had never been. They have two tasting menus that are 5 courses, and they each come with a bread service. And then you can also order a la carte off the menu. And it's in the old Wentworth Mansion. And so Charleston has a lot of like old money, you know, like that the people have been there for generations. So this mansion, I think you can stay there, but I think it might also be like a place to tour. Regardless, I had seen the outside of Circa 1886 like on Google or whenever I was looking it up, and our Uber driver dropped us off. It did not look the same, but we didn't know where to go. We ended up going into this mansion. I'm like, Rainer, this is not the restaurant. And this guy like comes from down the hall. He could have been a ghost because he just came out of nowhere. He's like, can I help you? No, I sound like Forrest Gump. I don't even know how to do his accent because it was so like Southern gentleman proper. Like he was like a, I'm so sorry, sir. He wasn't a butler. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what he did there, but he came like dressed like he had like tails on his like tuxedo jacket. And Rainer goes, he just came out of the bathroom. We're lucky he told us where to go. So I'm like, well, I've asked Rainer before because we watched Southern Charm. The Southern accents are strong, but they don't sound like Rainer. So I'm like, what accent is that? And he's like, it's Southern Gentleman. I'm like, oh, well, then what's your accent? He goes, just Southern.
Redneck.
But this guy,
No,
like,
no, Rainer's Southern. I'm redneck. I'm pretty sure that man was like an antebellum ghost.
no, exactly, exactly. Like he was so proper. But anyway, he's like, right this way, folks. I can't even talk like him.
Like Colonel Sanders.
No, that's not classy. Sanders. This guy was like it was like warm butter, like
Like
melt.
Thomas Ravenel
Yeah, but yeah.
or
So
Patricia.
yeah, well, no, it had to be a boy voice. I
Mhm.
love Patricia, side note. Anyway, he let us outside of the mansion and then like in the back, I think it's the old like carriage house maybe. That's where the restaurant is. Because do you remember Michael's downtown in St. Augustine had like the different rooms and like
Yeah.
private places? That's how this was. Like you were going into different rooms, they had tables. So anyway, I got one of the tasting menus and did a wine pairing with it, and it was awesome. Rainer ordered like the a la carte. He really wanted the antelope, so that's what he got, and it was great. Like it was fantastic. I just kept thinking of like Phil being there and just being like, "Oh, this is so good. Oh, try this. Oh my God." It's excited about food. I was like,
Like
Phil.
his popcorn pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I did not like my wine pairing. The sommelier, like she was my best friend. Every time she came out, I was all ready for another glass, but it just wasn't my taste. And I would try it without the food and then try it paired with the food, but I don't know. I would just get my own wine next time, I think.
That's
Oh,
disappointing when it's so funny because we were just talking about that last night. But before I sidetrack, I love like when Rainer orders, he'll order the most weird thing on a menu because I feel like he's on like a menu safari. Like if they
yeah.
serve something he could hunt, he's gonna order that. Like of course he ordered the antelope, and I would have been like, "What? No!" And of course I would have had like one little bite of it, but just
I probably
oh my
loved it. It was like
yeah,
veg.
probably.
Yeah, it was good.
But it's funny because I've been watching Southern Charm. You've like gotten me back into it. And I was listening to this one girl, oh God, the one that Austin's dating. I'm like super far back, so who knows who he's dating now. But her mom said that she went out with like a bunch of her friends and the sommelier like was recommending all these different bottles to go with what they were eating and they never asked the price and each bottle was $125. And she's like, when we got the bill, we were like, oh my God. She's like, he did us dirty. But of course, she said it in her like cute little Southern accent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It doesn't sound as mean when it comes out that way.
But
Southern
it cracked me up
lady.
because like we every night that we're here in Georgia, we open a different bottle of wine and we order like we like wine insiders a lot because they have wine from all over the world. So like I'll just try new stuff. And I'll always tell Phil, like, don't tell me what it is. I want to try to guess it, like what it is for like at first.
Yeah.
Because I was getting really good. Like I could tell if it was like Italian or Spanish. I got like six in a row and I was feeling like, oh yeah, I got this. So
I
I
got a
tried
new
one last
career
night.
ahead of me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is my new career. I'm going to be a somm. And
Yeah.
so I tried one last night and I was like, Italian. And Phil goes, France. And so then like the next one I tried, I think, no, today's I knew what it was, but like back to back, I got it wrong. And I was like, back to the drawing board. Guess I'm not going to be a somm. Like,
Oh,
but we
don't
were
quit your
talking
day
about
job.
because we made a like an Asian meal the other night and like we were like, wine pairings really matter because like you if you have a bold flavored menu item, like you need a bold wine. Like you can't just have like a light Pinot Noir with like a really
Yeah.
spicy. So
Yeah.
I love that. I want to learn more about that. So I love anywhere that does a wine pairing, but they better do it right. Like it sucks if you don't like it.
Well, they did do it right. It was just my palate, and of course, I mean, I th this whole Charleston trip was just like a food and drink parade. But side note, Wine Insiders, we do talk about Wine Insiders like in season one. It was episode 11. So
Wow.
yeah, if you're listening, you can go back and listen. Chrissy is still using it, so I think that's a great testimonial to the service. because that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, and like I think they're getting better and better every year. Because when they first started, like there was a lot of states they didn't ship to, but now it's almost every state.
Yeah.
Because I've ordered them wherever I happen to be. So they deliver them here to middle of nowhere, Georgia, which is
Yeah.
nice. Because like I don't know, we're spoiled in Florida. I feel like we get wine from all over the world, but we have so many great grocery stores that like do really good like BOGOs or deals. Like Winn-Dixie, I will go there forever just for their wine program. But I went to buy wine here and I was like, holy crap, just like basic bitch red blend is like $20.
Uh,
And I was like, and there's no BOGO? No, I'm not buying that.
you gotta go to the Piggly Wiggly. That's
It's
where I got
closed.
it. Oh shoot, never
I
mind.
know that was
That's
my
why,
wine
because they
supply.
had, yeah, they had good
Because
deals
they
on.
had the best price wine. So like when we went down there and saw how expensive just wine that's not anything to talk about is, we were like, all right, it's obviously worth it just to order by the case for Wine
Yeah,
Insiders. It's free shipping.
you don't have to go down the.
Oh, but side note, Clayton literally in the last like 6 weeks just changed their ruling on alcohol sales on Sunday, so we can buy beer at the grocery store on Sunday now.
Yay.
Bill was so excited. He's
But
like, "Oh my God, the lights are on in the beer section. What does this mean?"
it was like Pennsylvania, figuring out where you had to go, what days you could go, what time until,
Yeah.
like it's so
He
weird.
found this like really young kid like stocking eggs, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, can I purchase beer today?" And the kid was so excited. I was like, "Okay, obviously it's like a hot button topic."
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Yay, guac and beer any day of the week
Yep,
at
we're good to go now.
Angles. Um, oh, so the only other thing about Charleston, so our first episode this season, the Knights of Pints, one of your Fast Five questions to me was, would you rather be underserved and overpacked or underpacked and overserved? And I said the latter. And I really did get underpacked and I really did get overserved and I was underpacked when I went to Charleston. I had to go to Target and I had to buy a bra and I had to buy tights. I didn't just didn't pack them. I forgot about it and I definitely got drunk. So,
And that's the way to go because every
yep.
time you wear them now, you'll think of your Charleston trip.
Well, they're ruined, the tights, but yeah, the bra, sure. I oh, that was so embarrassing when I was in. By the way, I had a different pair of tights on, so which I had to get new ones. And like I like was in the bathroom and I was hiking them up. I hate wearing tights. I think they look great, but I hate dealing with them. And like it caught on like my fingernail or something, so I had to run. And then it just got bigger as the night went on. And I'm trying to talk to the nice Molly, and I'm like hiding my the run in my tights because Raider's like, you look like a hooker. So, yeah, it
Did
was
you have your
really,
knee-high boots on too?
I don't remember what shoes I had on. Probably, because I had all black on. Yeah. They were knee high, they were thigh high. And I still had tears up above the thigh.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, it was a long day of drinking. So, anyway, Charleston, we definitely need to go sometime soon because it's like a big St. Augustine. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed it there. But it was
I know.
freezing, so I'd like to go back in nicer weather, kind of like
I
you
know.
in Georgia.
I love all these cities though that kind of have that really cool history and bar scene and they're all walkable. That must be like the connecting thing because like I feel like Charleston, Savannah, St. Augustine, New Orleans, they're all like from that same time period. They all have that like historic old town where there's really cool bars, but you can walk
Yeah.
everywhere.
But it's like different history too. Like we are very Spanish and like Charleston is very almost, I don't know if like colonial is the right word. It's different, like they have different influences in the architecture and stuff. So, yeah. But that's all I have for you today.
Well, that was
All right, so are you ready for Fast Five?
I'm ready.
It's time for our Fast Five.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
My questions are all about Charleston.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, like we've already been there together, but we need to go back. What season would you want to go back for? Like summer, winter, spring, fall?
So there's so like a lot of the cuisine there is very like fish and seafood heavy, a lot of oysters, a lot of blue crab and stuff like that. So I think it's best to go in the summer. It just seems like, well, am I? No, the spring, sorry, before, because when it gets too hot, you shouldn't be eating like the oysters. So I
Yeah,
think
because
the fall.
we went in June and I remember
Yeah,
the weather being like really nice. Like
it was.
dresses and jean jackets, like which is like kind of the perfect scenario. You're not like too hot.
Yep.
But yeah, basically spring, summer, or fall. Like Charleston's just like in a good spot right on the water.
But Christmas was so pretty, and the miracle bars were fun, like the pop-up
My God.
bars.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
I
Christmas anywhere that's not like covered in snow.
yeah, I would go
I'm
back
here
at
for it.
Christmas again next year. That
Okay, so
now I've said every season for my answers.
I mean, there's not a bad time to go to Charleston, apparently. All right,
I'll
number
do
two.
whatever you want.
You have sucked me into Southern Charm, and I love watching that show. So who's the Southern Charm character you'd most like to get a drink with and why?
I don't know. I think, I don't, so many of them for so many reasons. So I would love to have a drink with Miss Patricia just so
That's who
she
I'd
could,
pick.
yeah, so she can just clean me up and be like,
Well, she's
listen,
been there the longest. Like I mean, I'm a couple seasons behind and she's 81 when I'm watching. And
oh,
just like her life, like the random little like tidbits she drops about like her crazy, amazing life. Like I
yeah.
feel like I could just sit and drink champagne with her and like let her tell me stories.
That's like when you and Phil opened photo albums when you lived in Summerfield and I was drinking martinis and I just passed out because you guys did not shut up. That's
I
what
know.
I did.
And you were like,
I was
keep
like
giving me
so
wine and
I
I
was
don't
so
care.
enthralled. Yeah. Oh, okay, we got it. I'm gonna lose my battery. I couldn't reach the plug from where I was. Keep going. Next.
Okay, we'll go fast. And in case you don't know, Lush's Southern Charmed is filmed in Charleston. They have like two New Orleans seasons, but it started in Charleston. It's still going, so that's why we're talking about Southern Charm.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
number three.
Good.
Can't. Oh no, can't. Skipping that one. Number four.
What?
A surprising reason to go to Charleston, like something that like you wouldn't expect, like, but that's why you would tell someone to go check out Charleston.
For the Southern gentleman accents. No, but I think there's so much history there and just to walk around and see like the old homes and how big the lots are and the opulence, I guess, but it's almost like what's the word? Not like a hidden like it's not in your face opulence because it's not like flashy, but like there's a lot of money there, and it's just really cool to see like how the beauty and the history of that town has been preserved.
100%. Like the way they preserve the history is so cool. And it's not in your face, like you're saying. Like all these businesses have like respectfully fit into the footprint that was already there. They're not trying to like change Charleston. And like when we were there, we did a horse and carriage tour, which is really cool because like you get to hear all the history and folklore, which I of course love. Okay, this cracked me up when you were talking about running into that guy going in the wrong entrance for the restaurant.
Oh yeah.
So 100% I think that was a ghost. Would you stay at the Wentworth Mansion?
No, thank you.
Really?
Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at the rooms or anything, and I don't even know if you can. Rainer said he thinks you can. And I do too because like part of our menu at circa 1886 was talking about like your brunch in the morning after you stay or whatever. So, context clues, you can stay there, but I bet it's extremely haunted. Not
He
interested.
seemed like a really friendly ghost, though.
He was so proper.
Okay,
He was
my
dressed
last
so well.
question. If you could do a podcast episode about one of the bars, restaurants, that you visited, which place would you choose?
Mm. So I want to say, by the way, is the easy answer because you have the reality stars who are owners, performers, whatever, they're all there. However, I didn't get to look into Miller's all day history, but the bar you could sit at a bar. It's like a diner kind of atmosphere, but it says like pharmacy above it. I would like to know the history of that place. And like what it was before. I feel like it was probably a couple things before, and it would just might have a good historical story.
Yeah. I want to go back in the summer with you because I really want to do Isle of Palm and Sullivan's Island because it's all like golf cart friendly and it's a beach town and there's a lot of really cool bars and there's one that reminds me of the Conch House there. It's like out in the water and they do like a lot of like just like dive bar seafood and beer and that place looks really cool too.
Yeah. No, I would absolutely go back in a heartbeat. I loved it. I missed it. Was that five?
Outside.
Okay. Number one for you. You talked about when you went to Tiger Mountain, you went upstairs and you got a bottle. So normally, if you go to a winery, are you getting a bottle or are you getting a wine flight if it's available?
If it's just me, 100% hands down a flight. Like, I love the way it looks, the way it makes me feel. I can take great Instagram photos. I get to try a lot of different things. And I feel like that's a really good way to like learn about where you're at and maybe like learn that you like something you might have thought you didn't.
Okay. So I mentioned when I went to By the Way, my espresso martini had a little fox in the foam. So if you designed a bar like you're talking about, what would your little foam creature be? Or icon or whatever?
I mean, it would be the Boozy Blondes logo.
Oh, good answer. I teed that one up, huh?
If not, it would be my dogs. Like I think it'd be really cute because they're each a flower. A daisy and a Madeline are each a flower. So like I would do that flower and they would each have their own like special drink. And a daisy already is a cocktail, so she's good to go.
It's like you already had this planned out. That was a
I
great
did.
answer. So you have been to Charleston before with me, and you were there a couple days prior to when I was there. So you've done a little bit more. What was your favorite bar in Charleston?
Damn, my memory sucks. Um, but it has to be the one that we went to together for breakfast. That was like Queen
Yeah,
1850. It was something like the address, and we went there for
like
brunch.
82 Queen or
And
something.
it sounded like the mansion place you went to because it was an old house and each room was a different like dining area and we got to dine upstairs and we pretty much had like this big round table to ourselves and the food was amazing.
Mhm.
But I mean I loved everywhere we went. At the bar you went to, Frenny and Fox, because we stayed at that hotel and that was just really nice too.
Yeah, I
But I
like
don't know. There's just something like, I love like an old historical building, so that was really cool and the food was fantastic.
that. Okay, excuse me. We talked about when Rainer and I went to Circa 1886. I wanted to go because of the tasting menu. So if you're going to a restaurant like that, do you prefer to go with the tasting menu, like multi-course, or are you ordering a la carte?
Oh, so what I'm gonna do is make Phil order the tasting menu
Yeah.
so I can try a little bit of everything. Because I'm the worst person to go to dinner with because, sorry, I'm fixing my witch mouth, you guys. If this happens to be on YouTube, I apologize. But no, I love a tasting menu, but because there's like so many things I can't eat, like that's just
Yeah.
never gonna be what I can gravitate for because like I feel like it's gonna be however much it costs, and I'm gonna be like, well, I can only eat like 30% of the things. So I always make Phil
Yeah.
order it. And then we'll try to order a couple things off of the regular menu that is not coming with a tasting menu. Like if that's an option, if you can do like tasting and a la carte, which some restaurants will let you do, like that's my go-to move because that's like the best of both worlds.
Yep.
But
I was
yeah.
the Phil, so Rainer tried all my dishes, and he was the Chrissy.
And he was on safari.
Yeah. All right, last question. So we talked about how By the Way is co-owned by two reality stars from Southern Charm. So what is your favorite reality TV show?
Man. I don't know. On the spot, I'm gonna say the challenge.
Oh, I've been watching that.
I love the challenge. I feel like because I've been watching it like since college and it's just entertaining as hell. There was like a point in my life where I was like, yes, I'm the same age as these people. Like, what would I do in these challenges? And now I'm like, oh, I could be their grandparent and I would die if I tried to do any of these challenges. But it's still entertaining to watch. And like,
Yeah.
I love the shenanigans that go on like at the house and when they have their theme night parties and
Yeah.
just to see how they all interact when they get a little too tipsy is very entertaining.
Well, and or Paranoid. Um, you have to watch Challenge All Stars because that's the old people, like the originals who compete for
Yeah.
each part. But also, we have a six-pack episode about the Hangover reality TV. So I think we definitely talk about the challenge in that. That was episode 76. So that's all my.
Phil told me that I think he said, oh, I want to say it's like season 50 of Survivor airs right after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he's like, we should resurrect that because we used to have this like weekly watch party and everyone like on day one would pick their survivor and you had to like put money in a bag.
Oh.
And like each week, if your person was still there, you had to keep putting money in the bag. And whoever like got to the end or last person like standing in the bag, you collected that whole pot.
That's awesome.
That was really, but that was like one like you actually had to like stay up and like watch a show every Thursday night. Like,
I'll be like, don't tell me what happened. I'm like 2 weeks behind. Let me stream it.
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, it was really good to catch up with you.
I know
And
I want to
I
come
hope,
home now.
yeah, I hope you're ready to come home. There's lots to do when you get back. So,
That's right.
Nights of Lights is now over, which
Thank
is,
God.
yeah, agreed. Agreed. I
I
mean,
saw on Instagram like all our favorite local bars are like having parties, like welcome back locals.
oh, yeah, yeah. We were talking about that tonight before I got on with you. I was talking with somebody like they should make like West King like the locals only spot during nights of
Yeah.
or something.
No lights.
Yeah.
Lights out.
Blackout. We're all gonna get blackout in the blackout. All right, Chris. Well, I will next time we record, we'll be together. So,
Yes. Cheers.
oh, I can't see mine.
I know.
All right.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for listening to the Boozy Blondes podcast. Please remember to subscribe so you never miss a chance to drink with us, and rate us on whatever platform you use and leave us a review. The boozier, the better.
To keep up with the boozy fun, follow us on Instagram at boozy.blondes. You can access our highlights for recipes, resources, and reels. You can find our boozy favorites through our Amazon link and also access fun Boozy Blondes swag.
Visit our website, boozyblondes.com, to read our blog with links to all the fun places we've been referencing in our episodes.
And you can follow us on Facebook at /boozyblondes.
We'd love to hear from you. Send us your boozy adventures and pictures to boozyblondespodcast@gmail.com.
Stay boozy.
Cheers.